In this video lecture, I will explain programming paradigm, basic structure of a C program, and process of compiling and running a C program. So let's start the first topic, that is programming paradigm. So what is programming paradigm? It's a style or way of programming. It includes a set of methodologies, practices, theories, and standards. Programming languages are classified into two categories, high level and low level languages. So high level languages are further classified into three categories: procedural, non-procedural, and problem oriented. And examples of high level languages are C, C++, Java, and etc. All the programming languages are high level language, and program written in this language must be translated. So why it must be translated? Because the program written in high level languages are not understandable by the machine, because machine understand only zeros and ones, binary. So what is low level language? This is also called as native language of a computer system, as they are written in computer readable form. So this will machine understand only 0 and 1. And low level languages are further classified into machine language and assembly language. So high level language means all the programming languages. Low level languages are the languages which machine can understand, and it will be in the form of zeros and ones. The next is a structure of a C program. So here the first thing is preprocessor directory, that would include a header file. So including a preprocessor directive. So for example, hash include stdio.h. So this is the header file. So first thing in the C program will be to include the header file in our program. And then the next thing is global declaration. So that is for declaring a variable globally. For example, int a comma b, something like this. And then int main void, this indicates beginning of a program, and this indicates start of this curly bracket, start of main function. Then inside the main function, local definition, this is for declaring a variable that would be local to that function, and it cannot be used outside the function. And then whatever code or logic we are writing, that would be nothing but the statements. So processing statements, and then at the end we write return 0, and this is end of function main. So the basic structure of C program, the first thing will be to include the header file, and this is the way we include the header file. We write hash include, and then within this bracket we write the name of the header file, and everything will be in small letter. And then we have to declare the variable, the global variable after header file, if at all we have any global variable in our program. So global variable means if we declare it outside the main function, before main function we declare the variable that is called as global variable, so that can be used by any function in the program. And then this indicates the beginning of a program. So the entire logic of the program must be written within main function enclosed in curly braces. So we have to always write opening curly bracket, and we have to end this curly bracket, and the entire logic of the program must be enclosed within these curly braces. And then inside main function, we have to, the first thing is we have to declare the variable, and those variables will be local to that function that cannot be used outside the function. And then after declaring the variable, we are going to write the code, the statements, and then return 0. At the end we have to write return 0, and this indicates end of function. This bracket indicates end of main function. Now let's take one simple C program example, then it will be more clear. So now write a C program, write a C program to print some message on the screen. So for example, if I want to print, hi, this is my first C program. If I want to print this message, what should I do? Okay, how I should write a program. So basic structure of C program, it tells first line will be, we have to write the header file. So hash include stdio.h. What is this stdio.h? This is standard input output. So standard input output file that provides input output functions like printf, which displays the information on the screen, and scanf, which is used to take the input from the user. So whenever we are using any input and output function in our program, we must include this header file in our program, and here everything will be in small letter. And then we write int main void. And why we didn't declare any global variable? Because that is optional, and we are not using any variable, we are just printing the message. So global variable will not come here, so that part is optional. And then we have a function called as printf, that is library function. So that is used to print something on the output screen. So this is a library function which is defined in this header file. And since we are using the function printf in our program, this is predefined function. So that already exists. We are just using it in our program. So whenever we are using printf function or scanf function, so then we must include this header file. And this printf function is used to display something on the screen. So this is called as output function, and everything will be in small letter. And what is the syntax of printf function? We have to write the printf, and then this is called as opening parenthesis, then double quote, and within the double quote, whatever text message I write, that would be printed as it is on my output screen. Okay, so then the message, and close this double quote, close parenthesis, and semicolon, it indicates statement terminator. So after every statement we have to write this semicolon, and then at the end return 0 and close the curly braces. So see here, the logic of the program, here we are just using the we are printing some message, so we'll be just writing one statement, and we are not using any variable. So this local definition, the variable definition part also, it will not come here. So only one statement, printf statement will come, and this return 0, we always write return 0 at the end. So what does it mean? What is this int? It indicates the integer value returned to the operating system from main function, and this bracket indicates the start of the main function. And what is this return 0? This returns the value 0 to the operating system, and it indicates the program terminated successfully. So here this main is the name of the function, and the value returned by the main is some integer value, and that would be returned to the operating system. And this return 0 indicates the program terminated successfully, and it returns the value 0 to operating system. And after every statement we must write this semicolon, that is statement terminator. And after main we have to write this opening braces and closing braces. Within this only I need to write the logic of the program. And here what is this void? Void, it indicates nothing is passed to main function. So we have not given any value inside this, so nothing is passed to main function. And stdio, which I have explained, it is header file, and printf is a library function which is defined in this header file. And C is case sensitive, so here printf everything is in small letters, so you should write like this only. Okay, So now the next is we have written the program. How will we run the program? Okay, so whatever program we write, that we call it source code, and the programming languages is nothing but high level language, I told. Okay, so high level language, but machine does not understand high level language. So there must be some translator, because machine understand only low level language. Okay, so there must be some translator which can translate high level language to low level language. So we have a compiler. So compiler, what it does, so whatever code we write, we call it source code. Okay, the programming we call it source code, the program we call it source code. Compiler will convert that to object code, and object code is understandable by machine. Source code, what we write. Okay, so whatever code we write, it has to be converted to object code, and where we will be typing our code, for that we will be using some editor. So if you're working in Windows, you can just download Turbo C++ software, or if you're working in Ubuntu, you can use editor vi or gedit or any other editor, whichever editor you are comfortable with, to type your code. You can type the code and save it, and then you need to give the command, compilation command, so that would convert your source code to object code, and then you have to execute the code. So the same process is explained here in this diagram. So editor will be there, where we will be typing our code, source code, and then preprocessor, it will the code will be, after preprocessing, the preprocessed code would be given to compiler, and then it would be converted to object code by assembler, and then all the libraries and other object module will be linked here, and it will be the executable code will be stored in the hard disk. And then this loader, what it does, this is the active stage of when the program is executing. So basically there are three steps. First, you need to write your code in some editor, then you need to compile, you need to give command for compilation, and after successful compilation you need to give command for execution. So one more thing you have to remember here, when you give compilation command, if there are any errors in the code, so error means if you have missed some semicolon or curly bracket, any error is there, so then you have to go back to the code, rectify the error. So that process is called as debugging. And then once the code is error free, then again you have to recompile, and once it is error free, then only you have to execute, give the execution command. After execution command, you will get the output. So that's all for this video lecture. Thank you.